What's up, y'all? It's me again, and I'm doing another video about about a topic that people still talk about and people still, think about, and some people have let go. And this video is about Michael Jackson, and I want to ask everybody out there. But actually, people have asked me, and I've heard people say this: was Michael Jackson a pedophile? I say no, he wasn't a pedophile. He was just a person that needed help mentally. He Michael, he needed therapy. He needed help. He did. I'm not gonna lie for him and cover up his issues, like a lot of y'all MJ fanatics out there. Y'all love Michael no matter what, and y'all cover up for his issues, like Jermaine Jackson does. He always say, he always trying to cover up Michael's issues for him. And he knew Michael was weird and different and stuff. And and I ain't gonna lie, as an MJ fan, I can honestly say that Michael needed help. He needed therapy. He needed therapy really, really bad, because a lot of his pain was self-induced. A lot of it was his own fault. A lot of it, he could have got help for. He could have got help for his problems. Not having a childhood, and I heard rumors that somebody touched him and molested him as a child. He could have got help for that. He could have got help for being lonely. He could have got help for, like I said, being lonely and being touched and as a child, and what else? Not having a childhood, not having a lot of friends. He could have got help for that. He could have been, you know, saved by therapy. He could have had a different life if he could have got therapy. And no, he wasn't a pedophile. He wasn't, because he wouldn't do anything to a child. Y'all know that. He wouldn't molest a child. He wouldn't even put a finger on a child in a wrong way. He wouldn't even do that. He would never do that. And may he rest in peace. May he rest in the peace that he deserves. 'Cause he deserves it. He went through a lot, and and a lot of that stuff that he went through, he brought it on himself. By his own behavior. I ain't gonna lie. Michael brought a lot of his pain and trials and tribulations on himself. And I wish that he could have got therapy, like I said already. And why did everything happen to him? Why did everything happen to him? Because it's strange how he ended up with vitiligo. He ended up not having a childhood. He ended up being molested as a child. He ended up being burnt in a Pepsi commercial. It's always, he's the one ended up being, you know this, and having this problem and that problem. You notice that his brothers and sisters, they didn't have no vitiligo. They never, you know, had this problem and that problem. Everything happened to Mike. I noticed that, and like I said, the reason a lot of stuff happened to him is because, not him being molested, and nobody, no one deserves that. No one brings that on himself. But I'm just saying, him being accused of child molestation twice, all of that was his own fault. He brought that on himself. He should have, you know, Michael shouldn't have been hanging out with those boys alone in a room. He should have been hanging out with them with other adults around. It became his fault when he said, yo, when they were just hanging out in a room with no camera, nothing like that. So those boys can say anything about Michael. They can say, Michael put his hands in my pants. Michael touched my butt. Michael could have did this to me. That was his fault. He should have been out in the open with them, not alone in a room. So, his pain was self-induced. He could have got help for being lonely. And, I keep saying the same thing over and over again. But I'm just saying, like I said a million times, until y'all MJ fanatics out there realize that he brought his problems on himself, and he should have, and a lot of it was his fault. So, I love Mike. I love his music. He was a gifted soul, a creative person. But man, and then his death was his fault too. He shouldn't have been messing with that propofol. He should have been using some other kind of, some other kind of sleep agent to go to sleep. He shouldn't have been using propofol. So his fault was Dr. Murray's fault, and his fault was his own fault. Not his fault. What I meant to say was his death was his own fault, and of course his death was also Dr. Murray's fault. It was both of their faults, because they shouldn't have been using propofol. They should have been using something else. And propofol shouldn't be used outside of a hospital setting. So that was his fault too. The way he died, that was his fault. But a lot of his problems, I wish that he was alive today, and he still could have been working through those problems, and and keep making music and keep entertaining the world, because he was the best, man. There ain't gonna never be another Michael Jackson in our lifetime, or any of our children's lifetime. Any generation in the future, they will never have another Michael Jackson. We know 4 years ago we lost something we'll never have again in our lifetime. That's the truth. But I'm just saying, Michael was very troubled, and I wish that he could have had a different mindset when he was an adult. I wish he could have just been like Prince, because cause y'all seen Prince, Prince got all the women. Prince, he always, he like Prince is like a woman himself, but he still get the women. He still got women in his bed. He always talking about in his music how he gonna do this to a woman, and how he, all the sexual stuff he gonna do to women. Y'all seen Prince? Prince is a G. Prince is cool as a mug, and I wish Michael was the same way at 25 and 26 years old and 30 years old. Because Michael was different, and a lot of people cover up his issues for him. They covered his issues up, and I'm like, just to, not tell him the truth, because he needed help. But whenever somebody told him he needed help, he always dismissed that person, or he wouldn't call them no more, or he would just, try to deny the truth. And that's why he never got help, because he thought nothing was wrong with him. But as far as some people go accusing him of being a pedophile, nah, he wasn't no pedophile. He loved children, he loved women, he loved life, he loved animals, and he loved doing music, and he loved entertaining people. So, nah, he wasn't a pedophile. So people out there who think he was, man, get off of that, man. The man is dead. Let him rest in peace. Stop accusing him of something that he didn't do, and he's not even around for y'all to accuse him of it anymore. He's gone. So, y'all, MJ fans out there, I'm not trying to diss y'all. I love Michael too, but, come on, man. And then, some fans even committed suicide over Michael. It's like, why would you commit suicide over another human being? He was only a person like you and I. He was the icon in music and this and that, but why would you commit suicide over him? You didn't even know him. These people, these people didn't even know Michael. They didn't know him personally. They probably never met him, never shook his hand, never got an autograph. They never been with him in person, never met him. So why would you commit suicide over him? You didn't even know him. Even if you did meet him, why would you commit suicide over him? His own family and children and his siblings and his friends and all that. None of them committed suicide over him. So why would you do it? You didn't even know him. They knew him personally, and they didn't even commit suicide over him. So why would you, an obsessed fanatic who just loves his music, why would you commit suicide over him? And it wasn't. And the thing was, it wasn't like 12. Yeah. It was 12 people that committed suicide. Who committed suicide over him? 12 people. 12 people killed themselves over Michael Jackson. I'm like, what? It's not that serious. Why would you take your life over a person like that? And they probably burning in hell for that, because God don't like when you worship other people like that. Why would you? Come on, man. It's just crazy. They probably burning in hell for that, because how can you worship another man like he's God? These people, alive today, and the ones that killed themselves over him. They loved him like he was Jesus Christ. I'm like, he is not Jesus. He's a person. Stop worshiping these celebrities like they love you. These people don't love you, man. They just want your money, and they want you to come to their concerts and support them. They don't care about y'all, to be honest. But then again, Michael did care about his fans. But still, come on, man. Don't kill yourself over a person like that. People are crazy, but he wasn't a pedophile. That's all I gotta say. He wasn't. And that's really all I got to say. But shout out to all the MJ fans. Shout out to his estate. Shout out to his company. Shout out to everybody that loved him and knew him personally. Shout out to everybody who loved Michael. May Michael rest in peace, man. He was the greatest. And that's love. Rest in peace.